can we talk about the short combat too?
Sure. Or long combats or, whatever.
Or long. Oh yeah. So okay. So let's talk about short combats and long combats as two sides of the coin. This being obviously the shortest combat that we've had up to this point, especially for a boss. People assume that I was furious about this. People assume Lars must have been so mad.
Because he was about to really, really damage these, and then he couldn't damage them. And
yeah. And it's like, it would have been one kind of nice if I had gotten a challenging boss encounter out of this thing. But it's another kind of nice when you're playing a game to have everybody that you're playing with hooting and hollering about how amped they are about how much they screwed you over. Like, you have to, in my opinion, if you're playing this kind of game, or just the way that I approach this, I'm not going to tell anybody else what they have to do. It's like getting that kind of a big reaction of like take that, you asshole, is so nice. It's such a positive experience to have people around the table feel like, I just gotcha, I did it.
Yeah.
Like, why am I presenting a game built around challenges if I don't want people to be happy about overcoming challenges? And also, I like playing up, and this is not just for the podcast. This is, I think, just like the style of GMing that I like doing. If things aren't going well for me, I need to amplify that for the people at the table. If things aren't working out, if checks are going not my way, and I'm just sitting there being like, being stoic about it, like, what fun is that? Like, do people enjoy that? Like looking at the person on the screen being like, oh, this dude isn't getting his checks right. Wow, he's really, I don't even know how he feels about that. Like, I love leaning into the emotional feeling of like, my boss didn't get to do a single thing. Let's have fun with how irritated I am by that, because it's such an easy prompt. It's so clear. Like, I had an idea for what was going to happen. It didn't happen. That's so simple of like, I get to play up for everybody, for myself, for fun, the frustration and the like, you got my, like, it's so much, to me, that's a huge part of the joy of doing this kind of thing, is being given opportunities for clear emotional reactions and then playing into them and having fun with them.
Yeah.
So,
all that really makes me want to have an extended conversation with you on mic about professional wrestling, but that's a whole other
it's the same thing.
Situation.
Totally the same thing.
Well, and your
let's
interest in it
let's
has
talk
always
pro wrestling.
that we should
sometime
talk about. Well, I want to watch that new series that's coming out, which that'll date this episode. But there's like a documentary series about WWE that has just come out, which I think is a good way for me to understand more about this, because I think it is geared for people like me who have not actually seen any of the stuff, but it's going to go through the major milestones in the story, in addition to like what was happening with WWE, like in the world as a business entity. So anyway, but so we'll maybe someday. I want to ask you though.
Yes, please.
What you just described of like, oh, there's an opportunity for me to play up how frustrated I am because it's fun.
Yeah.
I feel like if we were to do that as players in the exact same way that you just described, you as not a GM, but as like a human, would be worried that we were maybe feeling for real upset. I don't know that I could participate in having like an extra big emotional reaction of something, frustration or sadness or in the sort of like, hey, this is a chance to do this, as you just described, without possibly worrying you, which is really interesting to me.
This is my knee-jerk reaction to that. I haven't. This is such an interesting question. This deserves more thought.
Yeah, I haven't thought about this at all.
We don't have
either.
time for that right now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you my knee-jerk.
Good luck.
I think that if you did that in a way that made me laugh, I would be like, this is great. Like, I'm trying to make people laugh with how, like, I'm doing like wrestling. I'm doing the wiener heel who whose pants gets pulled down and he's like, whoa, what's going on? Like, that's what I like. I like making light of my frustration, and I think that's like There's a way to do it that I don't know. You're probably right. It's a weird.
It's just an interesting. There's no possible response to that.